Hello, cruise enthusiasts. It's time to talk about everyone's favorite topic, and that's gratuities. So of late, Carnival seems to have found themselves in a bit of a kerfuffle, one that they did not create, by the way. Well, they contributed, but this time they did not create it. They have been accused of not paying the crew the gratuities or using them to pay the crew, whatever that means. So it created this whole controversy. John Heald had to respond. And all right, I have seen this accusation leveled in other places, and just rest assured, there's nothing to it. It's always some crazy leftist who does not know how the world actually works, who do not understand the compensation models involved, and then they start to carry on about a living wage and whatever. So that's kind of the person that's, I don't know, causing this stir. But weirdly, as an aside, this is the kind of person that will remove the gratuities because they think it's somehow hurting the corporation. They're going to stick it to the man to force them to pay a living wage by shorting the crew. So, right, when you see these things, don't really pay too much attention. These people really don't really understand what's going on. So, maybe Carnival did contribute to the scenario a little bit. We'll get to that later. But yes, John Heald, he did have to make a response to this, or he felt compelled to make a response to this. And I think this was on the face sheet. People keep bringing up this website. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Here's the thing though. His response wasn't that great, but he does not come across as a corporate weasel. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And he was just trying to address the situation in a fair way that people could understand. But here's the thing that everyone has to understand. Yes, the cruise line uses the gratuities to pay the crew. That's why they collect them. This is just how it works. This is how it works on the ship, how it works on land. This is a compensation model that has existed for quite some time. And whether or not it's compensation or gratuities that are collected by the cruise line, then distributed to the crew, or whether they're paid in cash directly to the crew, is just an accounting trick. It is part of the crew compensation, right? And based on conversations I've had, everybody accepts this. The gratuities are collected, they are pooled, they are distributed based on some formula that everybody knows about and everybody agrees upon, and that's just how it works. And everything, I don't know, seems to be, well, mostly okay. Everybody seems to be mostly okay with it. So, yes, there is still a controversy. Now, just to address another, part of this, even if you pay in cash, the crew technically has to report that to the employer, because then it would be pooled and distributed among the crew. There's probably a different accounting method for that. I don't know if they actually have to turn it in, or they just get credit for it or something like that. I don't know. Crew, let us know if this is how it works, because I cannot imagine the corporation wanting it any other way, because not doing that would just create too many internal problems that they don't want to deal with. And I think we'll just have to set aside or not really consider the, of course, incredibly rare, almost inconceivable scenario that, one of the crew just kind of forgets to report the tip, and oh, gosh darn it, the government doesn't get their cut. Oh, I know. It's too tragic to even think about. I know, oh boy. But you can help me cope with that tragedy by hitting the subscribe button wherever it is. It's different on all the platforms, so I'm just going to point everywhere, and I trust you all to be able to figure it out. And there should be a little one of these, please. Anyway, now that I've gotten over that, yes, tipped crew, the room stewards, the wait staff, the buffet staff, people behind the scenes in the hotel operation like laundry, yes, they get 100% of the gratuities paid. That's just how it works. And you know how I know this? It's very simple. There is absolutely no way that the corporation could have maintained this conspiracy with so many people involved for so many years without it being found out, right? There's no way they could have maintained it. All it would have taken would be one whistleblower in headquarters or one bursar on a ship with, has a blabbermouth, and not Debbie, but, an actual blabbermouth. And that's it. The jig would be up, everything would be exposed, and we would kind of all know. So yes, no. Crew gets 100% of the gratuity. So I'm not even going to argue that point. However, this has led to, some scenarios that I don't know if they really considered, or if they're just a natural progression, or people are just kind of still okay with them. They're just kind of annoying. And that's that the process of gratuities has become so automatic, so automated with prepaid and charging it to the onboard account and settling to a credit card, blah, 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 that, it doesn't matter. It's distributed in a consistent way. The crew probably get consistent pay, so it's a wash. So yeah, does it really matter? Oh, and as a fun aside, I'll bet the cruise lines know exactly how much gratuity money is going to come in from the moment they consider a particular sailing, right? There's some bean counter in headquarters that probably can predict this within $50 per sailing. No, I'm serious. They have enough data to know exactly how to do this. And I would not be surprised, right? If anybody at headquarters, let us know if they have betting pools on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to see who's closest and how often somebody gets it exactly right. Would love to know that. Either way, the point is, what's happened is everything is so automated and so automatic that the crew are effectively salaried. That's it. They cruise lines know how much they're going to get. They know how much they're going to pay. And the crew probably know week to week exactly how much they're going to get paid. And if it does fluctuate, it's very, very small. And they can probably know this by sailing, by region, and everything like that. So yeah, it makes us wonder why we still have to deal with this process. Because it seems like both ends of this transaction are just kind of annoyed by it, right? We're stuck paying the same amount pretty much, and the crew is stuck getting paid the same amount. So the only thing this is causing is anxiety among the passengers and the crew because of the whole scenario. And who's the third party in this? The corporation? Trust me, the software that they use that makes all the numbers look good, so the corporation thinks everything is hunky-dory, yeah, it doesn't give a shit, okay? Whether you pay or not, it does its thing, the money goes out, and that's it. So everybody at headquarters, they see a system working perfectly, so they're all happy. It's us and the crew that are like, maybe this isn't really working out. So I should mention one exception to this whole thing, and that's the bartenders. And just based on conversations on a couple of different lines, and I would presume that it's the same everywhere, they do get like a bonus or something extra per transaction, because that is how they expect to be paid. It is appropriate. And, the more drinks you serve, the more gratuity you should get. So there is a way for them to influence that, but I've also heard that it is relatively very small compared to what they're actually paid out of the pool. So it does lead to this perception that they don't get tips. So I'm wondering if bartenders just kind of expressing this, if the guests may be misinterpreting it. It's possible. It's possible. So we have basically our salaried bartenders that get a little extra credit for every drink they serve. Whatever it is, it's nowhere near what you might leave on the check. The $2 or $3 more dollars, I don't know, depending on who you are. Yeah, that means way more to them than the automatic thing they get by just swiping your card. So just keep that in mind. And, if there's a group of people that you really want to keep happy, it's your bartender. Now, we should consider some benefits to this whole scenario because, yeah, there are a few benefits. Now, I think the corporation actually benefits the most, but in this case, it's so small that it's not really worth complaining about, even though I guess that's what I'm doing. But either way, the reason I think most people are just generally happy with this scenario, as frustrating as it might be, is because I think they are collecting more money by making it so automatic, by just asking people to prepay, by just automatically charging it on board. They are actually collecting more gratuities versus the old system where they had to hope that people left cash and hope it got reported and all this kind of ambiguity. So it is better on that part. I think, the crew, there's more gratuity money. They get more consistent pay, which, yeah, everybody appreciates. And the corporations, they do get the benefit of the float. right? They get just to sit on that cash until they have to pay it out. This is especially true for prepaid gratuities, but even that couple weeks between when you settle your onboard account and when the crew actually gets paid, that's money that's sitting in their bank account, right? And, you know, it's there. Nobody's accusing them of playing a shell game with it, although, well, they are, but a legal one. So I'll give them that. So what are we left with? We're left with a situation that nobody really likes. And even the corporation that does probably benefit the most, it's not enough to be that significant. So yeah, I guess it is just to advertise the lower fares. I mean, that's really the only benefit that the corporation gets out of this that we see on a daily basis. But cruise lines, you know what? If you want to change this, now is your chance. With Joe Biden inflation running up the price of everything, yes, you can just roll the gratuities into the fare, jack it up like you're gonna do anyway, and nobody will notice the difference. So come on, just throw us a bone. Do it now and just rip the Band-Aid off and get it over with. No one will notice until we can make America and cruising great again. See you on board.